Why does everybody think that Americans are stupid? I mean, you guys do realize that America is the country with the most history, right? We literally have so much culture, it's insane. All of our holidays, like the 4th of July and St. Patrick's Day and Christmas. I mean, what other race does that? And not to mention our food. We've got everything from ramen to pizza. Like, can we be any more cultured?
I am currently an American international student in Ireland, and it's fucking embarrassing. Something I need people to understand is that America is not the respected empire anymore, and they think we're so stupid. Beyond the Irish people, when I have the average conversation with a European, they think we are a joke, they make a mockery out of us, and they treat our politics like a damn reality TV show. I have to constantly remind people that real people's lives are being affected back in America, and I'm fucking worried about them. We are not feared, we are not respected, and everyone thinks we are a fucking joke. How do we choose a convicted fucking felon over someone that would have been the most qualified president in the United States because she worked in all three legislative branches? My Irish peer sent me condolence messages today. They said, what happened? What is going on? And for the people that are going to sit here and say, yeah, take a coat pill and go ahead and stay out there, we plan on to. I am looking at job opportunities right now. They do not want to go to America. There is no concept of an American dream anymore because they see everything that we're complaining about. At least I can afford my groceries out here. At least I don't have to worry about someone shooting me because guns are banned. At least there is politics out here that are able to be respected and can be done in a cordial manner. If you think Trump being in office is going to make other countries fear us, it's not. It's not, period. So that's my take on it. It's embarrassing to be an international student out here, and all of us Americans are quaking in our fucking boots.
What are you doing? Well, guys, sitting down.
Okay, so I saw this video and I also saw how upset people got watching it. And unfortunately, I couldn't stitch it. So basically, this girl and her friend, boyfriend, brother, I don't know, are on the train in Switzerland, and some Americans get on the train, and apparently that's just, they're loud, or I don't know, just American tourists get on the train. And a lot of people were really upset, like a lot of Americans stitched that video. And here's the thing, I'm not defending her, I'm just trying to explain to you what and why this is such a shocker. She filmed this in Switzerland. I live in Germany. Another country that's very similar in terms of culture is Austria. Let me tell you something. Riding the train is one of the most silent experiences you will have while being in one of these three countries. People don't talk to each other, people don't look at each other unless it's just weird stares. And people are just quiet. Even if you're in a larger group, people will try and talk very quietly. And when they hear loud laughter or people giggling or talking very loudly, even when you're on the phone, oh boy, the stares you get. Okay, the judgment, the people freaking turning around, pointing, like, why are they being so loud? It's just part of the culture. It doesn't necessarily mean you're being loud, it's just everybody likes it quiet. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, that the people on the train were being loud, it's just people don't like it. And when you're a person of color and you're a little louder, oh boy, it's so much worse. So just trying to explain to you what and why that is.
What is it that an American did that made you generalize that all Americans are selfish and...
I was at a restaurant with my friends, and this white American guy, mid-20s, completely wasted, tried to talk to us. We pretended not to speak English because he was kind of creepy. He went on to talk to the couple next to us, and he started complaining about the amount of immigrants around. He was talking about Mexicans. We were in Mexico. You guys are making it so hard.
So what happens when Americans go to vacation in Mexico? They complain about the Mexican music and they complain about the food. Yeah, you heard me. Last week, a bunch of tourists complained that the band music in Mazatlan was too loud. Apparently, they were listening to classical music in a place near the beach. The band music the Mexican band music was too loud for them. And they complained. And then the owner of the establishment filed a petition to remove band music from the beaches of Mazatlan. Mexican band music in Mazatlan is almost like you're coming to New Orleans and want to get rid of Mardi Gras. It's a staple of Mazatlan. Just because you have money doesn't mean you can go to another country and dictate what you want from that country. Do not forget, you're a visitor. Have some respect for the local culture. What else happens when Americans go visit Mexico? They complain that the food is too spicy. You're in Mexico. What are you doing? If you want to keep eating your bland food, you need not to visit Mexico. Stay home. You don't need to be complaining to the local establishments, the local cuisine, the local restaurants, that the food is too spicy for you. Stop complaining. The entitlement of some people is just unreal to me. How are you going to go and visit another country and make ridiculous demands? Stay home. Mexico is visited by millions of people worldwide. Americans need not to go to Mexico if they're going to complain about the band music and the food. You won't be missed.
And this is the worst one. It's the main character syndrome they all seem to have.
This is so crazy. Like, I know, like, I bought like a week's worth of groceries and it was like $17 here.
When moving to a new country, make a genuine effort to learn the local language and use it as often as you can. You might manage without it, but embracing the language is one of the best ways to connect with the culture. Show respect for the local customs, etiquette, and ways of life. Adapt your behavior to fit in rather than expecting others to adjust to you. Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony. I am the judge, the jury, and the executioner.
Americans pay for petrol before they fill up the tank.
How much do you need? What's it going to cost?
Here's the thing, I don't know how it works in Australia, but in Europe, you just go to the gas station and pump the gas. It just works, and then you go inside and pay for how much you used. And here's the thing, despite how those people are freaking out in the video, the European and I guess Australian version of pumping your gas actually sucks. It's way more inconvenient because in the United States, you scan your card at the gas pump, pump the gas, and then it just charges you for how much you used. Whereas in every country I went to in Europe, you have to pump the gas and then you have to, no matter what, go inside and pay for it. There's no option of paying at the pump. I actually really hated it. But more importantly, and I don't know how else to say this, but Americans are not built for that. The whole gas pumping thing in all of Europe is built on the honor system. If we did that in the United States, it would become Mad Max. The reason why you can have a system that works throughout an entire continent where you go to a place outside where nobody's watching you and then you get a product and then it's on you to go inside and pay for the product is because everybody has an obsession with following the rules. This country was literally built on the principle of not following any rules. The country would be on fire day one.
and I just found out that people from the UK aren't religious. Like 80% of the population is atheist. Is this what you would call culture shock? Because I'm sitting here like, how is that even possible? In an entire country. Like a first world country. Do y'all not believe in heaven and hell then? Are you like, you're not afraid of everlasting condemnation?
Hello, it's time for part 3 of Americans in the Wild, outside of America, brought to you by Kate Winslet from Wish. Okay, starting off strong, an American in Scotland was angry with me because I didn't speak with an American accent. She claimed that Scotland is a US state. Next up, I think the problem is that Americans are made to believe that their culture is the default. I work in a popular tourist attraction in Dublin, and an American tourist asked me if all Irish people are descendant from Americans. Why? Worked in a hotel in northern Norway. American tourists got pissed that we wasn't able to turn off the midnight sun when they wanted to sleep. Okay, this one is Edinburgh specific. What time's the 1 o'clock gun go off at? Where does the cannonball hit? Pet stores that sell haggis. An American tourist complained about all the planes above Windsor Castle. When she was told that there's an airport nearby, she asked why they built the castle so close to the airport, for the noise was very inconvenient. It's an ancient airport. 14-year-old boy in front of me outside Tower of London complained he couldn't read the guide because it was written in English and not American. American tourists complaining that the Colosseum was unfinished and that they couldn't see the gladiator show. Should we just, enslave more Jews to finish the Colosseum so you can have your entertainment, your blood sport? The worst story I have of an American happened at Auschwitz. While dressed in full winter clothes, they complained that the tour should be inside. This was right after the tour guide had just finished talking about the horrid conditions in the camp. This makes me feel sad. What an absolute lack of respect for those who died. You go to a concentration camp, it's not entertainment. Alright, lightening the mood a bit. I was once asked how many queens lived in Queensland, Australia. He wouldn't take none for an answer. My friend once got yelled at by an American woman because a dollar shop in a small Tasmanian town wouldn't accept her American dollars. Ay, ay, ay. We celebrate Waitangi Day in New Zealand in February. It's the signing of our treaty between Maori and colonizers. An American told me that we shouldn't celebrate it in February, we should celebrate it on July 4th, like the rest of the world. I informed her the Treaty of Waitangi was signed in February, not July, and she said, "Why do you keep calling it the Treaty of Waitangi? It's called the Declaration of Independence." Get help. Finishing this one off strong as well, I once had an American ask if we had Wi-Fi in Australia while talking to them over the internet. Part 4 coming up.
Why is it when you meet an American in another country and you ask where they're from, they will never say the United States or America, but instead they will always say either the state they're from or the city? When I'm overseas and somebody asks me where I'm from, I'll say Australia, the country I'm from. And then I'll say Sydney if they ask. When I was in Spain, I asked this woman where she's from, and she says, I'm from California. And I know California is very largely recognized on a world scale, but just say America.
Hey, Big Dog, I'm going to give you two actual answers here from somebody who lives in America but has also lived abroad multiple times. Let's take California, for example. The size of California is the size of Italy. That's the same thing as saying I'm from Italy. The size of Texas is the size of Spain and Portugal combined. Even the state of Washington, which is where I live, is Hungary and Slovakia combined. When we give you states, we are giving you something that is the landmass size of one or more countries. Like me being from Seattle is like me saying that I'm from Budapest if I'm from Hungary. Second, culturally, each state is basically a different country. So for example, you said that the person that you met in Spain said she was from California. Somebody from California is so drastically different than somebody who's from Texas or somebody who's from Minnesota or somebody who's from New York. All of those cultures are so different from each other. They need to tell you what they are from culturally, not just where they are from geographically. I cannot imagine, I've not been to Australia, but I cannot imagine that the Australian cultures are as drastically different as the ones in the US. So you saying you're from Australia is fine. A lot of Australians are probably very similar. In America, anybody from North Carolina is going to be drastically different from somebody from Oregon. Anybody from Washington is going to be very drastically different from somebody from Hawaii. I don't know. I think if people do not understand the concept of the United States generally, it's going to be very hard to grasp why we talk about our geography the way we do on a global scale.
Beans on toast. Ew, who would eat that? The democracy your nation was founded on is crumbling before our very eyes. Thousands of children die in schools because guns are more popular than hamburgers. Everybody is homeless, and nobody can afford healthcare. Meanwhile, you have a puppet for a president, while the richest man in the world carries his son on his shoulders into a press conference that he doesn't belong at. And also,
always take time to learn about the country's history, traditions, and values. It helps you truly understand and appreciate the community you are joining. Avoid trying to transplant your old American lifestyle into this new place. And drop the word expert. You are an immigrant, and that's something to embrace proudly. The term expert often suggests someone who stays separate and doesn't fully integrate, while immigrants commit to becoming part of their new home. Many Americans who face negativity overseas seem to forget they are guests in someone else's country. The opportunity to live there is a privilege extended to you, not because being an American makes you special or a benefit to the host nation, but because the country is generously welcoming you. Your mindset already seems thoughtful and kind hearted. Keep that openness and humility. Stay willing to immerse yourself fully in your new home, and you will likely find yourself welcomed warmly as a true friend and neighbor. The internet doesn't reflect real world attitudes very well. It's easy to be an anonymous troll online, but much harder to act that way face to face. I have lived and worked in 4 different countries. And in general, as long as you are respectful and not a jerk, most people genuinely don't care where you are from. Your background or nationality will probably come up in a conversation. It's normal curiosity. But the resentment you see in places like Spain or Venice is not usually directed at everyday people just trying to build a life and integrate. It's aimed at the wealthy, entitled types, often tourists or remote work nomads who drive up prices, overcrowd neighborhoods, and make life tougher for the locals. That said, some level of anti-immigrant feeling exists pretty much everywhere. Hateful rhetoric has spread widely, thanks in part to the United States exporting a certain brand of divisive politics. You can spot the irony when, in quotes, keep our country pure, protesters are wearing MAGA hats abroad. Wherever you move, it's going to be a big adjustment and you will have to adapt. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. So, what I usually say is stay alert, stay focused, don't fail for the government's psyop. And until the next video, thank you for your attention to this matter.